A homeless man yelled at a little boy on the street. What happened next shocked everyone, especially when Elon Musk stepped in. The morning was overcast in downtown Los Angeles, the kind of gray sky that seemed to slow the city down just a bit. On a side street near 7th and Spring, a commotion had begun to draw stares. Not the usual kind of LA scene. This wasn't paparazzi or an influencer shoot. It was something else. A man, ragged and disheveled, was yelling, "Back off. This is my corner. I don't care who you are." The target of his anger? A small boy, maybe 10 years old, standing next to a fold-out table with a cardboard sign that read, "Books for kids, free." The boy had set up a small box of used children's books and was nervously trying to explain himself. I'm just giving them away for other kids. I'm not selling anything, sir." But the man wasn't listening. His words were slurred with anger, his gestures wild. Pedestrians kept their heads down. Most walked faster. A few glanced, then looked away. The boy's voice was too small for this city. That's when a man walking by in a hoodie and jeans stopped. At first, no one noticed him. Just another stranger, like everyone else. Until he spoke. "Hey," just one word. Calm. Not loud. But it cut through the yelling like a knife. The homeless man turned, squinting at him. "What do you want?" The man took off his hoodie. Messy hair, sharp eyes, and a familiar face that, for a second, didn't seem real. Elon Musk. No cameras. No bodyguards. No fanfare. Just Elon, pausing during his walk, watching this unfold with something quiet behind his eyes. "What's going on here?" he asked evenly. The boy's lip quivered as he looked up. "I was just trying to give away books." He got mad. I think he thought I was selling something." Elon glanced down at the box of children's paperbacks, then back up at the man. "Is that what this is about?" he asked. The man snarled. "This is my sidewalk, man. These people walk by me every day and don't give me anything. Then this little punk sets up right where I sleep." His voice cracked on the last word, frustration mixed with something else. A tremble. A desperation that said this wasn't really about books at all. Elon nodded, slowly. Not agreeing, but understanding. The boy stood frozen, clutching his backpack, his shoulders rising and falling with shallow breaths. "Okay," Elon said gently. "Let's take it down a notch." Then he did something no one expected. He stepped between them, not with force, but with calm. "You don't need to scare this kid to protect your corner," Elon said. "He's not here to take anything from you. He's here to give." The homeless man blinked, taken aback by the softness of Elon's tone. "And you?" Elon turned to the boy, kneeling slightly. "You're doing something kind, but kindness doesn't always land where you expect it. You okay?" The boy nodded, trying to hold back tears. He wasn't expecting this much attention, especially not from him. Then, the man's voice came again, but it was quieter now. "You think you can just stand there and fix everything because you're rich?" Elon didn't flinch. "No," he said, "but I can listen. And maybe that's where we start." People had begun to gather. Phones stayed in pockets. No one moved. The moment had shifted. This wasn't about fame, or status, or money. It was about how one man, known to the world, chose to pause everything for a scared little boy and a broken, angry man on the street. The street was quieter now. A strange hush had fallen over the block, as if the city itself paused to listen. The boy, whose name was Jordan, hadn't moved from behind his little table of books. His fingers gripped the edges of a worn copy of The Giving Tree. His chest was still tight with fear, but the man in front of him, Elon Musk, stood between him and the danger like a human shield. The homeless man, now quiet, looked down at his shoes. They were torn, duct-taped together at the sides. His hands trembled slightly, not from rage now, but something else. Exhaustion. Shame. Years of being ignored, invisible. Elon stayed still. He didn't ask for a name. He didn't give a speech. He just said, "It's been a rough day, huh?" The man laughed bitterly. "Rough decade, you mean?" Elon nodded. "Yeah, I can imagine." "No, you can't." The man shot back quickly, eyes flaring. "You're you. You've got whatever you want." "I've also slept on my brother's couch," Elon replied softly. "Had no money for rent. Ate hot dogs every night. Didn't think I'd make it." There was a pause. You could almost hear the wind shift. The man didn't respond, but his breathing changed. Slower. A little less tight in his chest. The boy, still quiet, whispered, "He didn't mean to make you mad, sir. I wanted kids to have something to read. Like I used to." Elon turned his head slightly toward Jordan and gave him a look of calm reassurance. A subtle nod that seemed to say, You did good. Don't stop. Then Elon did something unexpected. He reached into his back pocket, pulled out a slim wallet, and peeled off $100 bill. He didn't hand it to the man. He walked over to Jordan's table and gently placed it in the jar next to the sign that read, "Books for Kids, Free." "For the next batch," Elon said, with a small smile. "And maybe, to buy you a snack." He slid another folded bill toward the boy's hand. "But don't tell anyone." Jordan smiled for the first time. The homeless man stared. "You're not going to just throw money at me?" he asked, a mixture of mockery and surprise. "No," Elon said, "but I'll buy you lunch." "You hungry?" The man blinked. He opened his mouth, then closed it. He nodded once. A small, tired nod. "Okay," Elon said. "Then let's go get a sandwich." He looked down at Jordan again. "You'll be all right for 5 minutes?" Jordan gave him a thumbs up, small, but brave. The man and the billionaire walked off slowly, just down the block, toward the corner deli. A stranger in rags, and one of the richest men in the world. Side by side, people watched from doorways, cafe windows, car windows. But no one said a word. Jordan stood behind his table of books, the wind tugging softly at the edges of his sign. His heart had stopped racing. He'd just been defended by someone the world called a genius, a titan, a disruptor. But none of that mattered. Because today, to him, Elon Musk was just kind. Inside the deli, the fluorescent lights buzzed faintly over shelves of chips and lukewarm drink fridges. It was the kind of place with scratched tile floors and a faded menu board. No press. No cameras. Just two men sitting at a small table in the corner, one with tired eyes and threadbare sleeves, the other with quiet presence. Elon Musk had ordered 2 turkey sandwiches. Nothing fancy. Across from him, the man who had been yelling just 10 minutes earlier now sat with his shoulders hunched and his fingers tracing circles into the table. He hadn't even taken a bite yet. "You're really him, aren't you?" the man asked, voice still rough around the edges. "You're Elon Musk." Elon didn't react, just gave a quiet nod and unwrapped his sandwich. "I get that sometimes." The man exhaled sharply. "I thought you were a fake. Like one of those prank YouTubers, messing with people." Elon smiled faintly. "Not really my style." Silence settled between them for a moment, broken only by the clink of the deli's bell as another customer entered. Then the man said something unexpected. "My name's Aaron." Elon looked up, met his eyes. "Good to meet you, Aaron." Aaron shook his head, almost embarrassed. "I shouldn't have yelled at that kid. It's just, you live out here long enough, you start thinking everything's a threat, even kindness." Elon didn't lecture, didn't offer a solution. He just said, "Makes sense." Aaron's shoulders sank a little more, like a weight was finally beginning to lift. "I used to be a teacher," he said quietly. 5th grade. Used to tell kids they could be anything. And then, I lost my wife. Cancer. Quick. And everything just collapsed. I stopped showing up. Bills piled up. Got fired. Evicted. You know the rest." Elon took that in with a solemn nod. "That's a lot to carry." Aaron laughed bitterly. "Yeah. And you think, who's going to care? One more guy on a sidewalk? I'm background noise now." But Elon didn't flinch. He leaned forward, elbows on the table, his tone calm but firm. "You're not noise." Aaron looked away. "Jordan saw you," Elon continued. "He got scared, sure. But he saw you. He'll remember you. Not just as the man who yelled, but maybe as the man who came back with someone and sat down to eat." Aaron finally picked up his sandwich, took a bite, and maybe it was the hunger, or maybe it was something deeper, but for the first time in a long while, he didn't feel invisible. They sat like that for 10 minutes, maybe 15. No big moment, no promises. Just 2 men eating quietly. When they finished, Elon stood and reached into his pocket, not for cash this time, but a small white card. Plain. Minimal. He placed it on the table. Aaron stared at it. "What's this?" "There's a number on the back," Elon said. "Call it. Tell them I met you. Say it's for the referral program." Aaron scoffed. "You have a referral program for homeless guys?" Elon smirked. "I have a referral program for anyone trying to start again." Then, before Aaron could answer, Elon turned and walked out the door. No dramatic goodbye. No spotlight. Just a quiet exit. Aaron sat there for a long moment, staring at the card like it was made of gold. Outside, Elon crossed the street, heading back toward the little bookstand. The crowd had moved on. The boy was packing up now. A few books remained. The sign had been slightly in the wind, but Jordan was still there, waiting. When he saw Elon return, he stood up straight, like a soldier. His smile returned. "Did he yell at you too?" Elon chuckled. "No. We had turkey sandwiches." Jordan grinned. "Did he calm down?" "Yeah," Elon said. Sometimes people just need to be seen. Then he knelt down and adjusted the corner of Jordan's bent sign. You know something, Jordan? The boy tilted his head. What? You might have done more good today than you'll ever know. Jordan looked at the nearly empty box of books. Even if no one took any? Elon smiled. Especially because you were willing to give them. The wind had picked up by the time Elon and Jordan finished straightening up the table. The sun was peeking through the clouds now, casting warm light onto the sidewalk as a soft golden haze settled over downtown. Jordan's books were nearly all packed, but one had slipped from the box, a weathered copy of Charlotte's Web. Elon reached down and handed it to him. This one's a classic, he said. Jordan nodded. It's my favorite. My mom used to read it to me before bed, before she got her second job. Elon studied the boy for a moment. His hands were small, his backpack too big for his frame, but his eyes, they carried something rare, quiet strength. Then, from across the street, a click, then another. Elon turned his head, just slightly, but enough to catch it. A man with a camera, long lens, trying not to be noticed. But he'd already been made. Jordan followed his gaze. Is that a reporter? He asked. Elon hesitated. Maybe, he said. Jordan's eyes went wide. Are we in trouble? Elon smiled. Not unless you stole that book. Jordan laughed nervously. But Elon's expression grew more serious. He watched the man across the street lift his phone now, clearly texting someone. Probably editors. Maybe more press. Maybe social media. That's when Elon did something Jordan didn't expect. He took a step in front of him, shielding him again. He didn't yell. He didn't wave the man off. He just stood there, in that unmistakable way of his, calm, unreadable, immovable. Then he turned, crouching slightly to Jordan's level. Sometimes, he said, people see something real, and they want to turn it into a headline. But what you did today, it doesn't need a headline to matter. Jordan blinked. But, if people saw it, maybe more kids would get books. Elon smiled at that. The kid had a point, maybe a better one than he realized. Still, he wasn't going to let this become a circus. So, Elon stood tall, walked calmly across the street, and approached the photographer. The man tensed immediately, expecting confrontation, or maybe a threat. Instead, Elon spoke softly. Don't post the kid's face. The man swallowed. It's a public street. Elon didn't blink, and he's a child doing something good. You want to run a story? Fine, but protect him while you do it. The man looked away, muttering, yeah, okay. And Elon left it at that. No lawsuits. No NDAs. Just a reminder that not everything needed to go viral. He walked back to Jordan, who was now tightening the straps on his backpack. Am I going to be on the internet? He asked cautiously. Probably, Elon said with a shrug. But we'll make sure it's for the right reason. Jordan gave a slow smile. You're kind of different from what I thought. Elon raised an eyebrow. Oh yeah? What did you think? Jordan shrugged. I dunno. I thought you'd be louder. Elon chuckled. Not today. Just then, another voice came from nearby. A woman, out of breath, jogged up to the sidewalk. She looked about 30, wearing scrubs and a hospital badge clipped to her pocket. Jordan. His face lit up. Mom. She hugged him tight, looking confused, then relieved, then completely overwhelmed. I'm sorry I was late. Work held me over. I told him not to go far, but I didn't expect. Her eyes met Elon's. She froze, and then whispered, Wait, are you? Elon gave a small smile. Hi, I'm just a guy who likes books. Jordan's mom didn't know what to say. She looked at the box, the folded table, the sign, then her son, then Elon. Her voice softened. Thank you. Whatever you did, thank you. He gave a quiet nod. He's got a good heart. You did the hard part. She smiled, holding back tears. Then Elon reached into his pocket one last time. He pulled out a card, not with a number, but with an email. Handwritten. If you ever need help keeping the lights on, he said, send a note. She took it, stunned. Is this real? It is if you use it, he said. Just don't tell Twitter. Jordan giggled. And with that, Elon gave them one last nod, turned, and walked away down the street, just a man in jeans and a hoodie, disappearing into the city he helped build. He didn't look back. He didn't need to. Because he knew Jordan was safe. And maybe, just maybe, that one quiet afternoon on a forgotten street had changed 3 lives. And it wasn't over yet. 3 weeks passed. Downtown Los Angeles kept moving fast and indifferent as always. But on one small corner, near 7th and Spring, something had changed. There was a new bench. A clean one. Installed quietly. No press. No ceremony. Next to it, a fresh sidewalk plaque. It read, To the kids who give, and the people we forget. In honor of Jay. No mention of Elon. No logo. No spotlight. Just that. Jordan returned to the corner one Saturday morning, backpack in hand, the same little folding table under his arm. His mom had the day off, and she brought a thermos of tea and a camping chair, smiling like it was a picnic. Jordan opened the box. It was full of books, new ones this time, donated by strangers from around the city. Someone had shared the story, quietly, respectfully, and people had responded. Kids came with their parents, teachers, a woman from the library. Someone even left a stack of graphic novels with a note that said, "For the kids who hate reading but love stories." The city hadn't forgotten, and neither had Elon. He didn't show up that day, but his presence was there, like a shadow you don't need to see to feel. There was a local reporter too, but she kept her distance. She'd been sent to cover the book kid and the mystery of the quiet billionaire who'd shown up without cameras, without fanfare. She watched Jordan hand out books with a calm grace, not begging for attention, just giving. Around noon, the crowd thinned. Jordan took a sip from his water bottle and sat down. Only one book remained on the table. It was Charlotte's Web. Of course it was. He reached for it, but then paused. A man was walking up the sidewalk, hunched under a heavy jacket, beard grown longer than before. Jordan smiled. It was Aaron. He looked cleaner, somehow. Still weathered, but different. More present. "Hey," he said quietly. Jordan lit up. "You came back." Aaron chuckled. "Yeah. Had to see if you were still giving away books like a maniac." "I got new ones now," Jordan said proudly. "But there's only one left." He held up Charlotte's Web. Aaron looked at it for a long second. "That one's heavy," he said. "You know the spider dies, right?" Jordan nodded. "But she saves someone first." Aaron's throat tightened. He blinked fast, looked away. Then he took the book, carefully, like it was made of glass. "Thank you," he said. Jordan shrugged, smiling. "You're welcome." Before leaving, Aaron reached into his pocket, pulled out a crumpled envelope. It had a small company logo on the corner, one of Elon's lesser-known nonprofits. He held it up. "I called the number," he said. "They set me up with a program. Transitional housing, therapy, even helped me with a resume." Jordan's eyes widened. "That's awesome." Aaron grinned. "Even had an interview yesterday. Might be helping kids like you soon, at a literacy nonprofit." Jordan laughed. "Then I gave that book to the right guy." They bumped fists. Then Aaron walked away. The wind picked up again, lifting the edge of Jordan's cardboard sign. His mom looked up from her chair. "You ready to head home?" she asked. Jordan looked at the empty table, then back down the street, where Elon had once stood, calm and quiet, when no one else had. He nodded. "Yeah, but we'll come back next week, right?" His mom smiled. "Every week, if you want." As they packed up, another little girl wandered by, tugging at her dad's hand. She paused at the sign. "Books for kids?" she asked. Jordan's mom looked down. "Come back next Saturday. We'll have more." The girl smiled. And for a moment, in a city where people often passed each other without a second glance, something happened. They saw each other. No headlines. No hashtags. Just a boy, a man, and a quiet moment that reminded everyone. Sometimes, the biggest changes begin with the smallest kindness.